6 months ago, Maria, a 68-year-old patient living in a quiet suburb, walked into my clinic with red, swollen eyes and a look of utter despair. She confessed to me that she had just nearly burned her kitchen down, for the second time that month. Maria didn't remember turning on the stove. She didn't remember what she intended to cook. She told me, "Dr. David, I feel like I'm losing my mind. My children are discussing putting me in a nursing home because they're afraid I'm a danger to myself." She couldn't walk steadily because her head always felt heavy, like she was wearing a helmet filled with cotton. From a sharp, retired teacher, she had become a frightened woman hiding in the corner of her room. But, just last week, that same Maria sent me a photo. She was competing in a chess tournament at her local club, and she won second place. She is walking briskly, her mind is sharp, and she is fully in control of her life again. What kind of miracle happened? We didn't use expensive pharmaceutical cognitive enhancers. We didn't perform surgery. Instead, I put her on a protocol using specific natural herbs, treasures from the earth that 97% of modern doctors often overlook or dismiss. These herbs effectively flipped the switch back on for her brain. And in today's video, I'm not holding anything back. I will teach you exactly what those 3 herbs are and how to use them to reclaim the mental clarity that is rightfully yours. But before we dive into the details, I need you to do something right now. Pause for a second and comment below. What is your age, and what is the biggest symptom you are facing? Is it forgetting where you put your keys? Is it reading the same page 3 times to understand it? Or simply that zombie-like feeling in the afternoon? Write it down. Why? Because I want you to see that you are not alone. Thousands of people watching this video share your exact same worry. Most importantly, I want to validate a scientific truth for you. This decline is not an inevitable part of aging. It is not purely genetic. The truth is, your brain is crying out for help because it lacks specific nutrients to run the massive electrical system inside your skull. When you provide the right fuel, the engine runs smoothly again. It is that simple. For those meeting me for the first time, I am Dr. David Thompson. I have dedicated over 30 years of my life to medical research and practice, helping thousands of patients find optimal health without being dependent on prescription drugs with harsh side effects for the rest of their lives. The mission of this channel, and of my life, is simple: to help you live a healthy, independent, and happy life through the power of scientific nutrition and natural living. I am here to give you the knowledge you should have been told years ago. For those meeting me for the first time, I am Dr. David Thompson. I have dedicated over 30 years of my life to medical research and practice, helping thousands of patients find optimal health without being dependent on prescription drugs with harsh side effects for the rest of their lives. The mission of this channel, and of my life, is simple: to help you live a healthy, independent, and happy life through the power of scientific nutrition and natural living. I am here to give you the knowledge you should have been told years ago. Solution 1. The architect of the brain. The first herb might sound unfamiliar to some in the West, but it has been revered in Ayurvedic medicine for 3,000 years. It is Bacopa monnieri, also known as Brahmi. I call this herb the architect of the brain. Let me tell you about Sarah, 34, a postpartum mother returning to office work. Sarah came to me in a panic. She said, "Doctor, I feel like I've become stupid. My boss gives me a task, and 5 minutes later, it's gone. I can't focus on reports because my mind just drifts away." This is classic mommy brain, combined with high-performance pressure. I started Sarah on Bacopa monnieri. You know, the results didn't happen overnight. But after 8 weeks, Sarah called me. Not only was she crushing her work tasks, but she had also started learning a new language in the evenings. She told me, "I feel like someone just upgraded the RAM in my brain." So, what does Bacopa do? Imagine your brain cells are like trees. To communicate, they need to reach out their branches, called dendrites, to touch each other. The active compound in Bacopa is bacicides. Bacicides act like a superfertilizer, stimulating the growth of these nerve endings, helping to repair the communication lines that have been broken by stress and aging. It literally repairs the internet connection inside your head. Don't just take my word for it. A randomized, placebo-controlled study published in the journal Phytotherapy Research, 2008, showed that participants taking 300 milligrams of Bacopa extract daily significantly improved visual information processing speed and memory retention compared to the placebo group after just 12 weeks. How-to guide. Dosage: 300 milligrams to 450 milligrams of standardized extract containing at least 50% bacicides. The golden window. This is crucial. Bacopa is fat-soluble. You must take it with or immediately after a meal containing fat, like eggs, avocado, olive oil. If you take it on an empty stomach, it is useless and may cause stomach cramps. Note: be patient. Bacopa needs about 4 to 6 weeks to build up in the brain. Do not give up early. Has anyone here heard of this herb before? It often grows in marshy areas. Let me know in the comments. Solution 2. The high-pressure pump for neurons. The second herb is more familiar, but 90% of people use it incorrectly. It is Ginkgo biloba. This is the oldest living tree species on Earth, a true living fossil. My patient, Robert, 55, is a chief accountant. He complained about his brain freezing up in the afternoon and his hands and feet always being cold. He was terrified of having a stroke because of his family history. After 4 weeks of using high-quality ginkgo according to my protocol, Robert reported feeling like a surge of electricity was running to his brain. He no longer felt sleepy at 2 p.m., and his hands were noticeably warmer. Your brain makes up only 2% of your body weight, but consumes 20% of your oxygen and blood. If the pipes are narrowed, the brain suffocates. That is brain fog. Ginkgo biloba acts as a vasodilator and reduces blood viscosity, thickness. Imagine it turning a bumpy dirt road leading to your brain into a 6-lane superhighway. It helps transport oxygen and glucose to the tiniest microvessels deep within the brain. A study published in the Journal of Psychiatric Research demonstrated the efficacy of ginkgo extract, specifically EGB 761, in improving cognitive function and social functioning in people with mild cognitive impairment. How-to guide. Crucial. Not all ginkgo is created equal. You need to look for the EGB 761 extract or a standardized ratio of 24% flavonoids and 6% terpene lactones. Dosage: 120 mg to 240 mg per day, divided into 2 doses. The golden window. Take it in the morning and early afternoon to maintain alertness. Avoid taking it too late, as it might keep sensitive people awake. Warning: if you are on blood thinners, anticoagulants, consult your doctor before using, as ginkgo also mildly thins the blood. Have you ever tried ginkgo and gotten a headache? That might be a sign of blood flowing too fast or a low-quality supplement. Be careful. Solution 3. The steel shield against stress. Finally, an herb from the cold mountains of Siberia, specifically for those suffering from stress, anxiety, and burnout. It is Rhodiola rosea, golden root. I call it the steel shield. I had a patient named Michael, 52, a CEO. He wasn't losing his memory. He was paralyzed by stress. He couldn't focus because his mind was racing with worry, his heart was pounding, and he felt exhausted every morning. This is brain fog caused by cortisol. After just 10 days on Rhodiola, Michael told me, "Doctor, I feel incredibly calm. The chaos in my head is gone, and I'm solving problems as sharp as a razor." When you are stressed, your brain releases cortisol. Excess cortisol is like acid. It literally corrodes your hippocampus, the memory center. Rhodiola is an adaptogen. It acts like a thermostat. If cortisol is too high, it pulls it down. If you are too tired, it brings your energy up. It optimizes dopamine and serotonin levels, keeping you calm yet highly focused. Research in the journal Phytomedicine showed that rhodiola reduced mental fatigue and improved work performance by up to 20% in night shift doctors, people under extreme pressure. How-to guide. Ingredients. Look for a label containing 3% rosavins and 1% saladroside. This is the natural golden ratio. Dosage: 200 mg to 400 mg. The golden window. Mandatory. Take this in the morning on an empty stomach, 30 minutes before breakfast. Why? Because it provides energy. If you take it at night, you will be staring at the ceiling all night. Do you often feel exhausted the moment you wake up? That is a sign you might need rhodiola. So, we now have the power trio. 1. Bacopa monnieri to repair neural connections. 2. Ginkgo biloba to pump blood and oxygen. 3. Rhodiola rosea to eliminate stress and burnout fog. Remember Maria's story from the beginning. She did not accept a destiny of sitting in a wheelchair in a nursing home. She chose to take action. And you can do the same. However, I have a gentle warning. Herbs are not magic wands. They require time and consistency. Don't expect a miracle overnight, but trust in the transformation after a month. And always remember, if you have serious underlying medical conditions, discuss this with your doctor first. Your health is your most valuable asset. Don't leave it entirely to chance. If you found this video helpful and want to learn more about natural foods that rejuvenate your blood vessels, hit that subscribe button and ring the bell next to it. I will be back with the knowledge that your doctor may have never told you. I am Dr. David Thompson. Thank you, and I wish you a day of absolute clarity.